Hello, everybody. Welcome to a political talk show here on WRMN AM 1410. We've got David Tees here in the studio with us today. Thank you so much for joining us, as well as special guest. And we also do have Dennis Sonar Green with us here as well, too, on the phone lines. Thanks for joining in, of course.
Hey, thanks a lot for having me, guys. Doing a great job, Tees. I really appreciate you taking over the show for me.
Hey, thank you. Anything for you, boss.
Appreciate it. Well, make sure that you guys are over here lickety split, because we are over at Journey of Hope Church getting ready for the City Council Candidate Forum. You can go ahead and head down to 37 West 040 Highland. It's right where Highland and Randall come together, just south of the Home Depot. We've already opened the doors. People are already coming in and talking and kind of mingling a little bit. Everybody is welcome to come over. The forum starts at 6, and we are taking audience questions. So we're going to be asking a couple questions that Mayor Captain has and a couple other people. But after that, all of the questions after that are all going to come directly from the audience. So you need to be here in that audience. And don't forget that WRMN is streaming that on YouTube and Facebook at the same time.
Awesome. Thanks so much for letting us know. We're looking forward to it.
Thanks a lot. I'll see you guys on the other side.
All right. Sounds good.
You know, that being said, excuse me, the forum going on, if you can't make it, watch it live on YouTube.
Yes, on YouTube.
And you can actually see the candidates. You won't be able to ask any questions because you're on YouTube. So if you got questions for the candidates, the best thing is to do is to go down there. You got, about a little less than an hour to go down there. And if you're coming from the Big Timber, Randall Road area, the lights are out, she said. So it's like a long line of traffic during rush hour. That's not a good time to have that. So might want to go around or get out there a little earlier.
Good to know. All right. Thank you so much for joining us all today. We'll get started with our special guest. Thanks for joining us today. My goodness.
Gianena.
Tell us a little bit about yourself and why you're here today on a political talk show. I almost said Out to Lunch. That's the show that I'm usually on.
He's on at 10. Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm Gianena Winkler, and I'm running for District 300 School Board. I'm the mom of 5, and I have a passion for education. So it really drove me to run for office for school board.
Now, running for school board, why would you want to get up and run for school board? I mean, is it something that you're more concerned about what's going on in the schools, or is there something that made you upset?
Well, a little bit of both. I do have some concerns with the proficiency in our schools right now. I've been looking at it, I've been monitoring it, and I've noticed that our proficiency has gotten to 39% in math and reading. And the Illinois proficiency is a 51%. So that, to me, is just unacceptable. We really need help there. I mean, we owe it to the kids to raise those proficiency scores.
So basically, is that like within across the board, or is it just math, reading?
Yeah, well, math, reading, language arts, basically. Science scores are very bad, too. They're just lower. And our kids can do better. They can and they should do better. Because especially young children, they say if a child can't read proficiently by 3rd grade, that they'll struggle the rest of the time in school. So there really has to be a lot of focus there.
So if you got elected onto the school board, what would be some of the major changes that you would like to see corrected? Something that you want the school board to do differently, work harder on, and you want to be a part of it and make sure that we can correct this problem as fast as we can?
Well, putting more attention on that proficiency. And one of the ways that I see would be a huge help would be adding additional aides to the classroom. Because some of the teachers have a huge class load. They just have a lot of students. And then the students that are struggling, they don't get that direct attention that they need to bring them up to the rest of the level of class. So if we had more aides available to take the time and develop those students who might be struggling, but 39%, that's saying that most of the kids are struggling at this point. So that's where we really have to have that focus.
How many villages does School District 300 cover?
Well, we have 27 schools.
Yes.
So it's Pingree Grove, Gilbert's, the Dundees, part of Algonquin, Hampshire. It's a big area. So it's pretty big. I mean, we go into McHenry County too.
That was going to be my question. I
Yeah.
was going to ask you. So you're on the McHenry ballot also, too.
Yes.
So you got to push up in McHenry, and yeah, that was one of my good questions I asked there. So basically, we're seeing like towns like Algonquin
Right.
has some areas, Matt, that you could build more houses into, be it in construction, but. And then you look at Gilbert's is growing.
Right.
It's going to get bigger. Carpentersville still has room for housing, but Pingree Grove and Hampshire and
Yes.
Gilbert's, those areas are going to boom. Pingree Grove is booming right now with families and housing and multifamily units and all that stuff. So we're going to start seeing in School District 300 getting more and more children coming
Right.
into there and larger class sizes. And then what you're saying is not enough aides.
Right.
Too many kids, one teacher.
Yeah,
and-
it's just a stress on the teacher. And if there are a couple of students who are really struggling in class, instead of the teacher stopping what they're doing to take the time to work one-on-one, if there were more aides available to really dedicate time to bring those kids up to speed, it would be game-changing for them.
Yep. And when I went to high school, maybe when you went to high school, did you have a woodworking class, which we called shop, or drafting, or home ec, or anything?
So for woodworking, I know that was something that was in college that we did have, not in high school, but in college we did have that. But was that the case for you as well, though?
Well, yeah, we had a woodworking class, and we had drafting, where kind of like if you wanted to become an architect, you had your, little feel of knowing how to draw, and a lot of stuff under there. Home ec for the girls and the guys. There were boys in home ec. But do they have those programs such that because and we also had in high school we had automotive, so they could work on cars in there. So I mean, high school to me, and Gia would probably agree with me, is a starting point for kids that maybe not catch on fast enough, like you're saying, but might have great gifts of becoming a carpenter, electrician, a plumber, a mechanic.
Right.
And those are stepping stones that, do you feel that a lot of school districts, not only just 300, should get more of those type of classes? Because not everybody's going to be a rocket scientist.
Right. You're absolutely right. And they do. Like District 300 has a Pathways program, which will give them some classes that lead to a career, which is a great thing. That's a great program to have. But when I went through the program, they have to also meet proficiency to have the credit. So that it keeps bringing it back to the basic foundation there. The programs are there, but how many kids are able to benefit from it if they can't get the basics? So we really have to cement that in the kids. We owe it to the kids.
So with the 39%, now, would you agree that if kids do you think that they're getting pushed through school, or you're just getting merit awards and all that stuff? Because I got a lot of homework when I was in school back in the day, and I'm sure you did, Matt. Is this going to hurt these children in the future when they want to go to college and they get accepted to college? What's going to happen to them once they get accepted, like in the University of Illinois or Northwestern? With having a 39% efficiency,
Right.
How are they going to have to go to community college, and now your career is going to get pushed back further?
That's a great point, but it's true. Like some of the kids that aren't meeting proficiency now, knowing that 39%, we also have a 94% graduation rate. So that's saying that the kids are kind of getting pushed through in some cases. And when they start at a community college, they get stuck taking remedial classes to catch up, like the 99s. And those classes don't give college credit, but you have to pay for them. So they're starting out their college career with a deficit in learning, and it becomes a vicious circle for them. The kids might get frustrated because other kids are ahead of them. So, and it's not every kid and it's not every school because we have really good teachers out there. I mean, excellent teachers. It's just that they need some of that burden taken off of them so they're able to give that individual care.
So I have a son that's in middle school right now, and he doesn't get any homework. You know, he does have ADHD, but his brain goes 100 miles per hour. But he's getting in. He loves biology. He understands that class. Math, he struggles at a little bit. And like you say, more teachers age. Are school boards trying to, like 300 or any school boards, are they trying to identify where the kids are having problems? Or are we just like, oh, just teach the class and just keep on going? I mean, is there anything in 300 or any other school boards that they should be doing differently for these children?
Well, I think the gauge has always been the testing. So the kids take tests, the standardized tests. And in the past, if kids weren't hitting their proficiency, they would either be held back or be given extra homework or whatever. But now it just seems like they're just going through. So, I mean, we do have testing in place that would gauge their proficiency. But where does it go from there? And why aren't they being brought up to level is a question.
Do you go to a lot of school board meetings for 300?
I've been to some, but I should go to more.
Yeah, I'm going to confess something. I haven't been to a city council meeting. I've been to King County board meetings. I haven't been to a city council meeting, but I don't watch them. That's why parents, voters, citizens, taxpayers, I might be preaching, and I will start going to them because now I'm going to have to, because what I'm going to say is, if you're concerned about your kids' education, go to your school board meetings.
Right.
Okay? Don't be afraid by what you're seeing on the news or anything where you're being censored or, now you got the FBI chasing you. Those days I think are going to be gone. But go to your city council meetings. If you're concerned about something, go to your county board meetings. And if you can't make it, you can Zoom it and watch it. And you can email your city council person or your school board official. So, I mean, I'm just not putting you on the spot with that question. It's just the fact that a lot of people like to complain.
Yes.
But they don't go to these things. They don't go to the meetings. I don't go to school board meetings, But one of the things I know is the laws of special ed because of my daughter being blind. Right. I know the transportation laws. I know where the schools and learning all that stuff is that special ed department did not want to see me coming in their office because I'm walking in there. There's a problem, and here comes Dave. Run. But leading to my other question is. And I'm really big on special ed because I've been around handicapped kids growing up since I was a kid with friends that had handicapped kids and wheelchairs and all that stuff. I'm a big advocate for the Disability Act in schools and in public and all that stuff. So is the District 300, how's their special ed program there? Or did they got it? I mean,
they do. Yeah, they have the 504 and IEP programs. They do give special attention to the kids. But again, like my son had an IEP in Hampshire, and he oftentimes needed extra help, and it just wasn't always available for him. So he did struggle a lot, and he had to bring a lot of it home. But, I mean, the programs are there. One of the main things, in my opinion, is so we pay 2.60 in property tax, one of the highest in the country. So we have this huge property tax. 70% of it goes to the education system. It's a huge investment for us. We all want kids to do well. We all want our schools to be great. And it's such a huge investment. The kids are our hugest resource. They're our future. They're our future leaders, doctors, everything. So we have to make sure that we're doing best by them. Every one of them, every child that goes into school deserves to have an excellent education. So
yeah, you're absolutely right. So let's say you win, you get on the school board. What would be one of the, I would say, your pet peeves, your thing you want to do to make different when you're on the school board?
Well, I want to focus on academics, absolutely. School safety is huge. Kids have to feel safe in their environment.
Exactly.
They have to. We need a comprehensive plan with local law enforcement. We need to stop school bullying. All of those things have to be addressed. And we also need transparency in the budget. We have to make sure that they're getting the best end of the investment. Like, new buildings are great, but if it's a building that's not going to be used for another 5 years, why aren't we investing that in the kids that need it now? That's where our focus has to be. So those are my main concerns.
Now, in my son in middle school, there is no, like when I went to middle school, there was a football team, girls volleyball team, girls basketball, boys basketball. That's gone. Okay, no football, no nothing. So what happens is that these high schools in U46 here, they struggle to get kids on their teams because these kids aren't, playing, these sports in middle school and having that chance to have an opportunity to go to high school. And then next thing you know, they're not that good, and that takes away a lot of scholarship opportunities. Is that the same in District 300's middle schools? Do they have football, soccer, basketball, volleyball?
I know they have some teams, and it's kind of the same. I mean, they do go from middle school, of course, it's not as big, and then into high school. So they are there. But I think that a lot of our culture has shifted to a digital culture. So they're more interested in video games and iPads and phones. So the kids' focus has changed. And I really think that they're getting more into that.
Do you think that maybe with that type of focus, and we're in a new modern era, to maybe try to, I don't know, try to get the kids some type of education by maybe using new technology? Because one of the things that scares me, Matt, is AI. And kids using AI to do homework or finding out how to do their math work or learning about the Civil War.
Right.
And AI, like the encyclopedia, we talked about this on the Political Talk Show, the encyclopedia gives you one version of the Civil War. You look it up, that's it. You type that in on AI, it gives you 4 different versions of it.
Right.
So is there a way, do you think in the future that maybe some of the school board members start coming together and saying, maybe we could start mixing today's technology with what the kids are interested into, maybe like a type of educational benefit?
Yeah, I think absolutely. I mean, everybody knows a 7-year-old can go and program your alarm clock or your VCR or whatever it is, DVD player. They can program it long before you can. So kids will be like a sponge to that type of education. And I really think we should. I think we should present opportunities for them to work with technology and grow with it. Like with AI, a kid can write my report in AI, but if we teach them how to use it properly, then they can use it in the future. We just have to teach them how to use it the right way.
Utilize it as a tool.
Yes.
Not have it be the the main and the only thing.
Yes.
And but to work with it.
Yeah, because chances are their future job is going to have AI at some level, so they should learn how to use it. We shouldn't be afraid of having them use it, but just use it in the right way.
Right. Still be able to have them have the critical thinking skills that they need to learn.
Yeah,
as well too, because that'll not help them. It'll help them not only in school but in life as well too, with the critical thinking skills,
right,
and communicating with the students and with the teachers, and being able to do that too.
That's why one of my biggest arguments with kids knowing arithmetic, basic arithmetic. People are like, "Oh, every cell phone has a calculator on it. They don't need to know that." But kids learn how to reason, just reason by doing math. And that learning to reason at a young age is a tool that they'll use the rest of their life. So it is learning the math, of course, but the process of reasoning is important for kids to learn.
We do have a comment here, Debbie, saying, "You have my support, time and vote. You will fight for the children and protect parents' rights as well."
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, yeah, because like math that you were touching on, being a plumber, electrician, a carpenter, math is a big part of that job. And being a plumber, science and math are both very critical to me because I'm dealing with chemicals, glue, flux, solder. There's some things you don't, acid, there's some stuff you don't want to mix or get on you and all that stuff. So Yeah, that's why I think basic. Did you have a cell phone when you were in school?
I didn't get a cell phone until I was 14.
My son didn't get one until he was 12 because they got 360 on there. Now I can know where my kid is at all given time.
Ah,
Boy, thank God they didn't have that when I was a teenager.
I know.
I'm glad I'm now. But no, so like I said, the cell phones, a lot of these schools are making it to a point where you cannot take your cell phone out. It's got to be in the locker. You can't have it in class. You can't be on it. There are still some schools that are doing it, but I don't know if 300 still doing it, or they're allowing them to talk on their cell phones in class.
They recently did a vote, and I don't think the results are in yet. My opinion is it should absolutely not be in classroom. They can have them, keep them in your locker, because these kids are so connected. I mean, we as adults are connected to our cell phones, and the kids are doing that. It's just a distraction.
And also, too, is some of the parents are like, well, I got to get a hold of my kid at any given time. Well, back in my era, you didn't have a cell phone. Your parents called the school if there was an emergency or you had a problem. And I feel that a lot of these kids being on social media and on their phones in the classroom is one of the largest causes of bullying.
Yes.
And that's why I think a lot of schools just get rid of it. You don't need it. You can talk to your friends after you get out of school.
Right.
You don't have to be on your phone. You're there to learn.
Right.
Math, science, history, and all that stuff. Matt, I know we're going to go to a commercial break here pretty soon. Do we keep her on for a little bit longer? Keep her around?
Yes, so we can definitely do that for sure until about 1:45.
And then remember, if anybody wants to call in and ask Gia any questions, feel free to call us at 847-931-1410. If you want to send us a text and ask her any questions, she'll be more than happy to answer them. The text line will be 505-926-1410. Or you can chat on the YouTube page, which like Debbie just did, at youtube.com at WRMN Radio. So we got a minute left, so we're going to go to a break. And you don't mind hanging around for a little bit?
Not at all.
You ain't got nothing better to do you?
No way.
Yeah, I know, unless you're going back through Brandon Road to Big Chandler.
I don't really want to sit in traffic, so.
You got to have to come up the other way through by Sherman Hospital, with that Fox Road or Holmes Road. So
there we go, folks. We're going to take a quick time out here. You have been listening to A Political Talk Show here with David Tees and also Matt McNeil here at the board today. Stay tuned. Coming up eventually, of course, we are going to be having our live broadcast for the Elgin City Council Candidate Forum. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be very exciting. We hope that you can participate. If you are able to, please go out in person to the Journey of Hope Church. It's going to be a very informative and well put together, of course, candidates forum so that you can keep informed and make Elgin even stronger too. We're looking forward to it. You'll be able to tune in on youtube.com at WRMN Radio and also on facebook.com at WRMN 1410 Radio. Stay tuned, more A Political Talk Show coming up in just a bit.
With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Kernan. Brought to you by Sky Rizzi. Good news for a former member of the staff of Elgin's Unit School District U46, as Ushma Shah has seen her contract extended for 2 years as the superintendent at Oak Park Elementary School. She started there in 2022 and will continue through 2027. The Naperville Police Department highlighting their latest arrest report, including a Warrenville woman, age 30, taken into custody for driving on a suspended license and alcohol-related offenses on February 25th. On the same day, a 42-year-old Naperville woman was arrested for multiple traffic violations, including DUI and driving without insurance. Hundreds turned out over the weekend for the first weekend of the King County Flea Market in St. Charles. The market runs from noon to 5 on Saturdays and 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Sundays, and will continue April 5th, April 6th, May 3rd and 4th, and May 31st and June 1st. With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Kernan.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your boat, boat wins.
What are you going to do? Take the boat out for a spin or go mail something?
Boat wins!
Are we cleaning the patio or taking the boat out fishing?
Boat wins!
Are we skipping that eye exam to go sailing?
Boat wins!
Rescheduling eye exams can be a nightmare.
All right, fine. Eye exam, then boat.
Yeah!
With Progressive, you can bundle your boat with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings on your boat. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states and situations.
Hi, everybody. This is Steve Thorne, running for re-election to the Elgin City Council. So many of you already know me, and you know that my many years of volunteer work and ongoing service are all about helping the residents of our great city, especially our seniors and military veterans. We certainly have had our challenges, past and present, but Elgin owns my heart, and it always has. We are a strong city, a safe city, a city of neighborhoods, a city where people feel the touch of community connection. And that's part of our greatest strength. We look out for one another here in Elgin. And as your city councilman, I pledge to look out for you. I've been endorsed by both the Elgin Police and Firefighters Unions. I'm respectfully asking for your vote to continue serving you on the Elgin City Council. Paid for by Friends of Steve Thorne.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast. A flood advisory is in effect through Wednesday. Tonight, rain showers are likely with cloudy skies and a low around 46. Temperatures rising to around 49 overnight. Looking ahead to Wednesday, expect rain showers before 5 p.m., then transitioning to rain and snow showers with a high near 50. Currently, it is 44 with moderate drizzle. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
At Skechers, we put the S in comfort.
Wait. Skechers put the S in comfort?
Yes, comfort you have to feel to believe. Skechers, we put the S in comfort.
Let me try. Okay, I'm just stepping in and... Oh, wow. Skechers put the S in comfort.
Duh, we told you.
Find Skechers slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to a political talk show here on WRMN AM 1410, Voice of the Valley, Talk of the Town, broadcasting live here from downtown Elgin, serving the Fox River Valley area. Thanks so much, everyone, for tuning in and being a part of the conversation. Thank you, of course, for our guests today, staying for a little bit longer here as well. Thank you again. And I hope that you all are enjoying the show here today. Coming up very soon, we're very excited, of course, about the Elgin City Council Candidates Forum, which will be coming up in just a little bit, so stay tuned for that. We do recommend you head on out in person. The doors are open. They've been open since 5 o'clock. If you can't make it, though, no worries. Of course, we will be broadcasting live here from the AM 1410 dial. You can tune in on the app. You can tune in on our website. Or don't forget also, too, to physically see it. You'll be able to find us on youtube.com at WRMN Radio and also on facebook.com at WRMN 1410 Radio. So thanks, everyone, for tuning in today here on A Political Talk Show.
And I am excited. I'm going there right after I leave here because I've never been to one of these things. Even though I ran for King County Board, that was a different story. So this is going to be an educational experience for me to see how this is done.
It's very good. I have never been to one in person, but I have manned the board here for previous time that they did have it. So I did that, and so I'm familiar with how it does work with questions and answers and how it's timed. And
It's like a roller coaster. Did you ever been on it? Got to try it once, or go see the Rocky Horror Picture Show at midnight back in the day when they used to have those at the Meadowdale Theater. What they have? Rocky Horror Picture Show in one theater at midnight, and then they had Led Zeppelin concert in the other one. Yeah, the Led Zeppelin thing there too. Yeah. A lot of people falling asleep. But that being said, get on down there or watch it. If you've never done it before, everybody's got to try everything once. If it's food or if it's entertainment, you don't know if you're going to like it unless you try it.
Yep, exactly.
That's how it goes. So, Gia, back to you.
Yes.
What is your educational background? I mean, did you go to college?
I did.
You did? So tell us a little bit about that.
So I have a PhD in business, and I had concentrations in law, and so I'm basically a nerd. But yeah, it's allowed me to do a lot of things. My degree. So I worked at a Fortune 500 company. I worked with project management, and I managed 300 stores in northern Illinois. So I had a huge area. I've tutored college students, and I do a lot of community outreach now.
And what kind of community outreach do you do?
So much.
Too much of a list to actually say, huh?
I do a lot. A lot of programs. I've worked with elderly. I work with youth through my church, the tutoring. I do legal advice, taxes, all kinds of stuff.
You do taxes?
Yes.
Gosh, I should have used her.
You
I already did my taxes. Oh, my Lord. So my next question for you is, when you go out and knock on doors or talk to voters and all that stuff, what seems to be one of their main questions that they have for you when you tell them that, hey, I'm Gia, I'm running for school board district 300, I'd like you to vote for me. Do you have any concerns, any questions? What is their biggest concern?
Yeah, so I've gotten a mixed bunch of things from parents. There's a lot of concern. Parents are concerned, just turning on the news and hearing everything that's happening in schools. But one parent in particular that I was knocking on doors, and she was telling me that her child struggles in school, just has a really hard time, and she's been concerned because he doesn't get the one-on-one attention. And I mean, that's a big thing that comes up to parents. Safety is another huge thing. A lot of parents are concerned of school safety. That's a...
How do you think we should, in the future, address school safety? What would be one of the greatest visions and ideas that you have that maybe these schools should do a little differently, or your vision of something that a way we could keep our children protected in the schools, because we've seen a lot of stuff in the past that makes these kids a little bit worried about going to school, of a school shooter or something like that. What would be your ideas?
Well, I think that making that plan with local law enforcement, but it has to be a comprehensive, solid plan to protect the schools. I mean, not every school can have a resource officer, but a lot of them do now. We just need to have the full plan with it. Like, get working with local law enforcement, have them come out to the schools, maybe have an emergency drill involving the police officers. Just knowing that there's safety there, and that there's, that we're taking the steps to do it.
I see when you're talking about drills in schools. I've seen it on documentaries or type of shows that they show these kids doing these drills, and they run to the classroom and they turn around, Matt, and they take these door stoppers and they put them on the doors so the doors can't be kicked in, and they all go hide underneath the desk. And these are things that is terrifying for a parent if something like that happens. I never had that when I grew up in school. We didn't have school shootings, and our doors were wide open. People can come in and out. Now the doors are locked. You got to get buzzed in, and safety in schools is very important.
Right. The drills, I mean, they're good. The kids do need to be prepared. I imagine they're terrifying To me, as a parent, I'm afraid of those, but I know that they're necessary. But we need a plan for like emergency response from the police department, like just that instant, like, yes, somebody will be there. So that type of drill, because they're doing their job in the school. They're definitely preparing kids. They're making sure kids know what to do in that event. But we have to make sure that it's working with law enforcement as well. So there's an instant response.
I forgot what school it was, and I heard it on the news outlet out here that we have during commercial breaks that there was a child. I forgot maybe it was 300. Maybe I know it wasn't U46, but there was a 12-year-old girl that brought a unloaded gun into the school and now facing charges. Anybody know what school district that was? Or?
I will have to. I know exactly where the source came from. So let's see.
Yeah, we'll look at that. But school safety is very important. And I think the school boards and every school boards, no matter what school board it is, teachers and students all have to come together and work with law enforcement and come up with a plan and a safe way to make sure nobody gets shot. But I think in the schools, for example, 300's growing, Pingree Grove, Hampshire, Gilbert's, you're going to have to build more schools.
Right.
Do you think any of these modern schools should be more equipped to stop this? Like some type of barriers that come down?
Security features, definitely. I mean, if they're building a new building, it should be equipped with security features. And they can also be added to pre-existing schools too, just as an extra step. Let the kids feel safe, let the parents feel safe, and really give them a good environment to learn in.
Like at my kid's school, Abbott Middle School, I don't see cameras posted around the whole entire school. And there is a police officer in there, very nice guy. I like him a lot. Very interactive with the kids, and the kids all know who he is. He's a very nice guy. But if somebody's watching the school grounds all the way around, and you see somebody, I mean, some kids sneak in guns, you can't see it, but if you see a person with a rifle heading towards your school, I feel that maybe we should start studying ways to protect them. Like a big button gets pushed.
Yes.
We see the windows get covered by bulletproof barriers, and so do the doors. So there's no way somebody could come into there. Might be something to look in the future. I know it's costly, but some of these new schools can do it.
Right.
If we can, I mean, if we're paying, 80% of our taxes are going to schools.
Yes.
Then I think
the funding,
I think we're growing. We got more impact fees coming with more housing.
Right.
I mean, impact fees go to schools, fire department, police departments on every new house that's built. So these are more revenue coming in, more money coming in to maybe start using to make our schools safer. Don't you agree?
Yes. And then also it's bullying. Like a lot of kids that get bullied won't talk about it. They're embarrassed and they won't talk about it. And the psychological damage that can do to a young child.
Right.
I mean, we have to also put a stop to that. Just, I mean, Hampshire High School was great. When my son was going to Hampshire, they had signs everywhere about anti-bullying, and they were really on it, the teachers, the principal, everybody, but kids still got bullied. So that's something we really have to work on. Just have to do better with it.
Absolutely. I appreciate both of you coming on today to Apolitical Shock Show. We are going to be taking a quick time out, and then we'll be heading on into the program here for the Journey of Hope Church's coverage of the Elgin City Council Candidate Forum. So folks, stay tuned for that. I want to thank you both for being on here today, of course. And we'll be back here in just a bit. So, of course, stay tuned.
Are you ready to take your brand to the next level? Image 360 South Elgin is your ultimate destination for custom signs and visual communication solutions. Looking to rebrand your office interior? Need striking vehicle wraps or decals for your fleet? Or perhaps you're in the market for a standout trade show display? At Image 360 South Elgin, they've got you covered. As your full-service custom sign and graphics partner, they deliver bold solutions and exceptional support. From outdoor signage signage to eye-catching store signs, indoor graphics to comprehensive branding solutions. They have the experience to elevate your brand's presence. Trust Image 360 to create a long-term partnership that gives your brand 360 degrees of exposure. Visit them at 506 Sundown Road in South Elgin. Image 360 South Elgin. Bold solutions, exceptional support.
Businesses come in all shapes and sizes. Integrity doesn't. For more than a century, the Better Business Bureau has set the standards for how businesses should operate honestly and ethically. So when you're looking for a business you can trust, check to see who's BBB accredited and who isn't. Always choose the Better Business. Look for the BBB seal because it's looking out for you. That's why it's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
Shop smarter and greener with Remix Market. We specialize in high-quality, gently used furniture, home decor, and unique treasures. Perfect for giving your space a fresh look without hurting your wallet or the planet. As part of the Junkluggers family, we're on a mission to keep items out of landfills by rehoming them to loving homes like yours. Whether you're decorating, downsizing, or hunting for that perfect one-of-a-kind piece, Remix Market is your sustainable shopping destination. Visit us online at remixmarket.com and start shopping sustainably today.
The Moose Lodge 799 in Elgin is a place to connect with family, friends, and your community. Moose Lodge 799 is conveniently located at 925 South McLean Boulevard, and they offer fun family activities, exciting community service projects, and live entertainment on the weekends. At Moose Lodge 799, you'll find a place to relax, make new friends, and be part of something bigger, like supporting the kids of Moose Heart. Doors at Moose Lodge 799 open at 2 p.m. Tuesday through Friday and at 11 a.m. on Saturday and Sunday. Join a welcoming group of members who share a passion for good times and giving back. Call 847-741-0799. That's 847-741-0799 for more information or stop by and see what they are all about. Moose Lodge 799 in Elgin, where family, friends, and community are always invited to join.
Hello, everybody. We are going to be joining in live here pretty soon in about 10 minutes or so for the Elgin City Council Candidates Forum. And we are looking forward to this very much so. Thank you, everyone, for joining in. We'll finish up the last 10 minutes here, and then we will get into our the live candidate forum. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be very good.
So am I. And this is exciting here, too. I mean, is this the first one that WRMN has ever done?
So we have done another one before, too. There was a couple, I do believe it was, a couple years ago that we did. And it was when Tish Powell had run for Elgin City Council. And I do remember, of course, we did commercials, and we had a lot of different other commercials, too, for other candidates. So I am familiar with how this forum does work. Usually, of course, you have, the welcoming. You start with the national anthem as well. You go into the rules that are announced by Pastor Jared. You will, of course, have the candidate's self-introduction, so they'll give a little bit of an introduction to themselves. And then there will also be that question and answer section or session here. So what that'll do is, of course, we'll ask particular questions. The moderators will be Dean and Sonar. And then they'll have a certain amount of time to answer that question. And then when the time is up, then they will move on to another person for that question. So it's kind of an overall question, and each individual candidate does get to answer within that time frame. So it's very engaging, it's very informative, it's very interesting too to hear what people have to respond. I think it's a great way, of course, to also learn about the candidates and what they have vision-wise, of course. And then the other great thing too about this candidates forum is that later is going to be the social time between 8 and 8:30. So you'll be able to actually socialize with the candidates who are running as well too. Whether it's reelect or new, and it's going to be good. And then the social time ends actually. So the start time is 8 to 8:30. The end time is around 9 to 9:30 is when that'll be. So during the social time, you'll be able to talk one-on-one with the candidates, which is going to be very crucial and important for those of you out there who want to learn about the candidates. You can also pick up campaign literature. You can enjoy refreshments and visit with your friends too. So it's going to be it's going to be very good for sure.
And like we said, this actually gives everybody a chance. This actually gives everybody a chance to get to know your candidates, because you have 8 total people running, 9 being Marcellus Day as a write-in. And this is something you got to really do your homework on, because nobody, it's a lot of candidates. You can only pick 4. That's it. Yeah, like candidates that we have that will be on today will be, I don't know if these people are actually there or if all 9 of them are there, but you got Maggie Beyer, Steve Thorne, Cecilia Brooks, Diana Alfaro, Dustin Good, Eric Pena, Mark Smith, Corey Dixon, and the write-in Marcellus Day. So those are the people that are supposed to be there. We don't know how many are going to be there yet until they all show up. But these are your candidates that you're going to be hearing from and listening to on YouTube, or if you're in the audience, still got your app on your phone listening to me and Matt right now.
So we do have a comment here, Wendy. Thank you for the interviews of the candidates. Hi, Matt and David. I met you at Ace Hardware. I will also be listening to the next program. Thank you so much for tuning in, Wendy.
Yes, thank you, Wendy. I remember meeting you guys there with the sale going on over there right now. But as we're talking about this, this is the hardest thing for a voter to decide on who to vote for, because we're a city, okay, but these candidates don't have a chance to be on they have commercials on WRMN. They're allowed to have commercials anytime they want. Anybody wants to take an ad space and promote your candidacy, feel free to call WRMN Radio. Talk to Matt here. And Matt, do they have a special number they can call besides the online number?
Well, of course, there's the 505-926-1410.
Yeah.
There's also the office number, 847-741-7700.
Yes. So if you want they got a good deal going on right now to have your commercial ran and promote yourself for your candidacy as a way to get, your voice out there to the voters.
Absolutely. It's a very important, of course, with this event too. And again, if you can't physically go there in person, we will have it, of course, here on youtube.com at WRMN Radio, and you'll also be able to hear it and see it as well on Facebook. Coming up very soon. So stay tuned for that. And again, it is at the Journey of Hope Church. That'll be coming up in roughly about 5 minutes or so. So please stay tuned for that as we do head on into our next programming coming up very soon. Again, we do have the Elgin City Council candidates here, Diana Alfaro. We have Maggie Beyer as well, Marcellus Day, who is a write-in, Corey Dixon, Dustin Good, Eric Bosque Pena, as well as Mark Smith, as well as Steve Thorin. Those are the candidates there. So
they're actually all there, the whole list, the whole crew. Okay, there you go. The gang's there, everybody.
And Cecilia Ivana Brooks as well, too.
Yeah.
So, so definitely stay tuned for that. That will be coming up very shortly here. Here on WRMN, of course, we will be broadcasting live. So make sure you stay tuned for that. More information, of course, too, will be coming along. It's a great experience, too, of course. Check out for yourself if you do want to head on out there in person. It will be starting very, very shortly here, too. So definitely stay tuned for that. Thank you, everyone, so much for supporting WRMN. I can't say it enough here. We are your local talk of the town, voice of the valley. We thank everyone for being a part of the conversation and a part of the community for the community as well, too. I know that Elgin is such a strong city, too, and I know that we're only going to go stronger, and we wish everyone the very, very best of luck whoever might win the candidacy here for the Elgin City Council. So we look forward to it.
Yes, yeah, I wish them all luck too. I mean, we got a little bit less than 30 days, but less than a month to get out there and vote. But early voting does start pretty soon here, and so does mail-in ballots.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So, and I want to thank you for being on here today too.
Oh, thank you for having me here. I like working with you. I've never worked with Matt before, and I'm actually enjoying it. I'm not getting questions like getting drilled by like a sonar joking around.
All right. So what we're going to do here is we are going to go into our program. So stay tuned for that here on WRMN. And thank you everyone for tuning in. And we will be on here very, very shortly. So of course, stay tuned.
This candidate forum that we are hosting here. So good to have you here with us. Just a couple of quick things as we get ready to begin, because everyone always, when it comes into a different building, they need to know some things, and so I want to make sure that you are aware that the restrooms are actually through the community room, which is the big room just on the other side of the double doors out here. All the way through the community room, there's another door, and you'll see the sign that says the restrooms are over there. So just want to bring that to your attention so you're not searching, so that you can get back to your seats really quick for some of the more answers that you have. So I just wanted to welcome you to Journey of Hope. I had a conversation with Mayor just a little bit ago, because I was asking him, I said, hey, what are your favorite games? So I wanted to know what some of his favorite games was, but he says, actually, I'm not sure about favorites, but he goes, there's one that I never like to play. I said, yeah, what's that? He goes, I never like to play hide and seek. Because it's hard to play hide and seek as a politician because people follow you everywhere, right? Yeah? All right. That one killed. All right. But it is great to have all of you here. I know that we're going to have some fun. We'll hopefully get your questions answered. If you have not filled out some questions, I know that there are slips of paper going around. If you don't have them, make sure you wave. There's people in the back that can get those to you so you can write down the questions. We can get them up here to all of our candidates here tonight. So without any further ado, I want to bring up Active Grace. Active Grace is going to share our national anthem. So I'm going to encourage you to stand as you are able, remove caps, and enjoy our national anthem sung by Active Grace.
See by the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So as we get together tonight, there's a couple of things that we need to go over. One of the things that we need to go over is that up there. So I know that it seems like legalese, and always, things are written really small so that you really don't know what's up there. But I need to read some of the rules for this particular forum for you. So they are up there just in case you can see them. But here they are. So maybe I should turn and face them. I don't know. Candidates will be seated in alphabetical order by last name. Maybe. Yes. Okay. Each candidate will be allowed 30 seconds to introduce themselves. That will happen very shortly. Introductions will take place alphabetically. Audience questions to be written on those slips of paper that you already have. Ushers will collect the written questions from the audience so that we can get those to the moderators. The moderators will select which questions are going to be asked. Every question will be answered by every candidate. No gimmies, you can't pass out on one of them, so sorry. All answers will be timed by this wonderful timer here that is moving. You're just setting it up, okay. All right. I'm already over? Man, I tell you. The timer will be prominently displayed where it can be easily seen. The moderator will read each question aloud. The moderator will state the time allowed for each question. Answers may be shorter than allowed, but not longer. The moderator will identify who will answer first to reduce confusion. Answering order will be alphabetical by last name. For each question, the first person to answer will be shifted by one person to the west, that way. Each candidate will be allowed 2 minutes to make their closing statement. And so we ask that you hold all applause until all candidates have made their closing statements at the end. The entire forum is being live streamed. Oh, yes. Being live streamed and broadcast over WRMN. And so I encourage all of you who are watching online with us tonight to share this live stream. Get through your social media accounts and just share this with everybody that you can to get the word out about this forum and hearing from all of our wonderful candidates. And the forum videos will remain on the internet for public access, because once it's on the internet, it's always on the internet. Right, yes. Okay. just a couple more quick things. One of our candidates could not be with us tonight, has a work conflict. So Eric Pena regrets that he is unable to participate because of that conflict. So just so you're aware that that's the reason why he is not here. We also have a write-in candidate with us tonight who will introduce himself shortly. So, yes. And so now I'd like to introduce you to someone else. I'd like to introduce you to some of the wonderful gentlemen over at WRMN. And so first I just want to bring out Dean Delaley. So Dean, come on.